Was my mentor, Hans was my leader, Hans was my very good friend. Hans shaped me business-wise to a large extent, and I hope I can also take the best of Hans into my life, at least I'm trying to.
Yeah, and this was a very special period because this was Poland.
Correct.
And he came and a Western company came and Poland was on the move to be completely different. So it was two cultures who met. And how did you connect to each other? And why did you trust him to do the right thing?
Because Hans was seeing the things how they are. He was the person who didn't believe in prejudice. Hans was the person who was independent thinker and no-nonsense man. And he was talking no-nonsense talk. And that's what I, as very young man, because at that time, we met a long time ago, I was very young at that time.
What year was that?
That was 1994.
1994.
1994 we met for the first time. And he became the chairman of the board, that I was the CEO. And
what was the name of the bank?
Bank Slaski. And ING was having a share in that at that time, bought the first tranche of the shares. And Hans was the person who principally, what he bought my heart was the, he was a non-nonsense man. I would like to repeat
I mean,
that.
not only non-nonsense, but you trusted him because
Sure.
I mean, if you're CEO of a Polish bank and a Western company buys 25% or whatever, then you go like, these guys want to take us over. And
well,
then
he appointed me to that position, so that was a bit different story from that respect.
Yeah.
But he trusted me. I think he generally trusted people. The point that was a kind of deal, unspoken deal, but everybody knew that Hans is giving you the full trust, Hans is giving you a full support until the first mistake.
Okay. If you misuse his trust,
yes,
then he doesn't forgive so much.
That's what I said in the church, that actually, and this is very true, what we feared is actually to let Hans down. So if you are a businessman, just imagine the organization that everybody is trying to do everything best, just not to give the boss a hard time. That's a dream of every organization in the world. How can you achieve that? You have to be Hans.
Yeah, and that was, he gave you trust.
Yes.
He gave you good advice. He didn't, when things went wrong, he didn't prosecute you, but he wanted to help you.
Well, listen, at the end of the day, things that I was responsible within the organization many times, Hans didn't have a clue what they are, but he trusted me. And I did my best in my honest way, in Hans' honest way, to do exactly what should be done, because sooner or later, I could have get into the situation to let Hans down. And then would be the worst thing that can happen in my life. That's the dream of any organization in the world.
So it sounds like an ideal way to be. Why are not more people like that?
Because you have to be genuine in trusting the people. If you are telling people that you trust them and you start to control them on small little issue, if you tell them that you trust the people and at first moment of problem you turn your back and you're just saying it's not my fault, it's his fault, right? Then the whole structure collapses. You have to be as genuine as Hans was. And that's rare. That's very, very rare.
What did you think of the rest of ING at that time? Because you had Eli, I think he was also on your board or something like that. Eli?
No.
Oh, Eli was before. Eli
was in the Polish branch at the end of late 90s. So we are even talking about other stuff. But I was thinking about ING.
1994. Yeah.
Well, ING was the most entrepreneurial, honest, and direct speech type of structure. There was a corporation that people were not talking corporate talk. There was very little political fights and looking for what is here for me. ING was on the mission for creating the best bank in the world, and that was, well, different times, pioneer times, especially in my part of the world when ING was the first to enter both in insurance and in banking.
Yeah. So in 1994, we're now 20 years, almost 18 years, 15 years further. How are things? 25 years, sorry. 25 years. We're now 25 years further. How is life in Poland now? How is the culture in Poland now? How is ING surviving in Poland now?
ING is surviving very well, thank you, because I'm the CEO now in
Still
Poland.
the CEO, my gosh.
Well, it's my third time.
Yeah.
I did other different jobs in the meantime, but I'm the CEO there. I think the bank is doing very well. I think the bank is extremely honest, straightforward, it's growing very fast, and it's, at least I hope, a bit like Hans would like that to be.
Yeah. You came this morning, you flew in, and you're going to go away.
Yes.
Hans was what is your feeling about Hans? If we celebrate his life now, what is your feeling about him now? You want to thank him for what he's been in your life?
Well, I would never thank Hans for everything that he did for me. Okay, of course I'm looking deep because nobody is perfect, and Hans was certainly not a perfect man. We all know that. But what he gave me was a lot of things. First of all, I think he gave me the freedom and courage to speak openly about how I think and how I see the things. Which honestly, I don't think that many people have that courage and have that freedom to do. Second, I think he told us all the time that the only reason why we exist in our organization is customer. And everybody is repeating that. But again,
still, after 25 years.
Yeah, but what I mean is everybody in the industry are talking about that.
Oh,
the problem is not about talking.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is about doing that. And Hans was doing that, and he meant that. And that is rare again. So Hans was a lot of rare things. I only aspire to be like him in that respect, because I don't have his courage, I don't have his direct approach. I'm not that kind of visionary as he was. Okay?
Hey, you got his trust for a very long time. Thank you for coming to Holland. Wonderful.